¿Que sea el first taste ahorita o during the show?
No, during the show.
Okay.
Que la cagamos, ¿no? La abrimos antes. Pues ya, estamos, we're live.
Sí, va, pues. Bienvenida, raza, al programa Que Show. Aquí con el Jorgillo. ¿Qué pedo, George?
¿Cómo andamos, bro?
Bien. Todo tranquilo.
Agustín.
I've been como looking forward to today's show porque and I'm sure you're going to talk about this, pero you were out of the country y te diste nuevas cheves, güey. Me dijiste hace como 2 semanas, güey, que tienes trajiste cheve de ¿cómo se dice? Las trajiste de ilegal desde...
Casi de ilegal.
Sí, güey, de Iceland.
Iceland.
Ajá, Iceland, güey. Llevo como 2 semanas. No lo he probado, güey. Y I'm excited.
You're
Just
excited?
tell me
I'm
when
excited.
to go. Tell me when to
I've
take a
had
sip.
it once in my life.
Okay. Oh,
So I don't even, you know, is it gonna, my expectations are so high. Is it even gonna?
Yeah. Did you like it the first time?
Yeah, dude. So story behind the beer. I guess we show the beer.
Así, güey.
Einstock. Para que
Es
vean
el
la,
que
o
sabe.
sea, no. Pero tienen un Viking. Está chida.
Sí, güey.
Está
Se
chida
ve
la,
el vato se ve como que está en la UFC
como
en
que el
Islandia,
Thor
güey.
store acá.
Sí, güey. Si el Thor pisteara, güey.
Pues nada, fui a Iceland. It was kind of like this work opportunity. But you get to travel for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Y en una de esas, pues me di una escapadita así a un bar.
Okay.
Y nada, pues entré al bar acá, güey, y hablé con le dije al bartender, hey, ¿sabes qué? Dame una cheve. ¿Qué recomiendas? Le dije, ¿qué recomiendas?
Okay.
Y como todo pinche bartender, well, I don't know, it depends on your taste, what you like.
Sí.
Si alguien te está preguntando eso, es porque you're a curious person.
Sí, sí.
I'm gonna be open to whatever. I think, right?
Maybe. I would think so too, pero...
Or like, would you ask such a question like that and then be like, no, I don't want that. Or no, I don't want that either.
See, I agree with you, but I can't imagine, como I've never been a bartender, so maybe the bartenders are like, they always get that person who like comes in y le pide le pide la sugerencia y luego le ignora todas,
sí.
Oh, I'm gonna go with what I always get, you know?
Y acá.
Sí, waste of breath.
So nada, el vato me está hablando, pues que se te antoja, quieres esto, quieres el otro, blah, blah, blah. He was like, process of elimination, ¿no? Acá.
Sí.
And he's like, ¿sabes qué? Te voy a dar esta white ale. Y dije, sounds good. And he poured it draft. Okay. So I'm sure it's gonna taste different because this is canned. Who knows how long? I've had it in my fridge for a while. Like it feels like 2 weeks now.
Okay.
It flew across the fucking, Atlantic. Like it went de un aeropuerto a otro, toda pinche batida. Sí. De hecho, la cerveza, si la ves, güey, está toda puteada, güey.
Sí.
Y es porque, bueno, ahorita llego ahí, pero me dio esta cerveza al vato, güey, y el primer sorbo que le di así, dije, a la verga, güey, así de que...
Le atinó el vato.
Le atinó machine. Igual, capaz y toda la cerveza de ahí está chida, ¿no?
Sí.
Pero, the way he was telling me was like, that people they are beer drinkers, de corazón.
Okay.
So, ellos llevan pisteando estas cosas de... años.
So, esta cheve de aquí, la que tengo.
Ajá. Bueno, pues esta no en específico, pero llevan pisteando cerveza muy similar a esta por antes de que Estados Unidos fuera descubierto, ¿me explico? O sea, they're beer drinks. Se te tira. Party go.
Es la segunda vez que me pasa esto. Vale, verga. Tira cheve a todos los que están viendo el
me supo deliciosa, crisp. It has like some citrus in there. Date, hay que darnos salud.
Espérate, me acordé que no es el dicho que cuando tiras es porque a alguien se le antojó, güey.
Sí,
llevas hablando ya, bichi, 2
sí,
minutos, güey. Estoy antojado,
güey.
Salud,
dale.
Sí, güey, está pisteable, güey. El Einstock.
Está bien bueno.
Está buena, güey. O sea, que nomás pisteaste una cheve en Islandia.
Pisteé 2. No, de hecho, pisteé 2. La otra sí estuvo bien X.
Ok.
Era igual, pero era porque el lugar estaba mucho más ocupado. Estaba jugando Italia contra Francia, creo, en fútbol.
Sí.
No sé qué pedo.
Oye, Italia contra Francia. Partidazo, güey, tú ni cuenta.
Yo acá de que están gritando todos.
Sí.
No, está chido. El fútbol sí lo sigo, no lo sigo, pero si lo veo, si lo entiendo el partido.
Sí, partidazo que
y yo acá, que está chido, güey, todo bien pedido. Una fun fact of Iceland, güey, allá no cae el sol.
No baja, o sea, no
o sea,
baja.
no baja el sol. O sea,
Sí.
es en el verano there's light 24/7. So you know that feeling of that 5 o'clock feeling, 5 p.m.
Sí. Like,
Así está todo el día, güey.
oh, nice.
Está bien, está curada, pero en la noche sí te chinga, güey, ¿sabes?
Ah, sí.
Los lugares tienen que tener como blackout curtains, güey,
Sí,
tienes que
güey.
dormir con tus mascaritas.
Ah,
güey.
tienes las madres.
Sí, güey, es que es crucial, güey, sí, no todo, sí. Pero algo muy interesante, güey, que nunca había pensado, pero la noche te hace un parote cuando sales, güey, porque no puedes ver los features, güey, de una persona peda o ebria, güey. Like, once you start drinking, ya llevas 2, 3, güey, you become more sloppy, güey, and like, your, like, women's makeup starts, like, smearing, and, like, you just look like shit, honestly.
Okay.
Pero la noche te hace un parote, and if you're in a club or a bar, like, the neon lights, and son filters, güey, basically.
Sí.
Pero, so you're walking, and they're partying hard, because COVID isn't a thing over there, because they took care of it. So everybody's just having a great ass time, pero todos se ven bien puteados, o sea, todos se ven bien pedos en la calle, así, güey, yo como, what the fuck's going on? Porque es como un optical illusion, güey, porque es de día, pero that behavior is I'm used to seeing that behavior at night,
Sí, güey.
so it's kind of like, it was a mindfuck. It was
Qué
a
loco,
mindfuck.
güey.
Pero, bueno, hablé mucho de Iceland, esta chévere me la traje de allá, y no la encontré en las tiendas, güey, de Iceland, güey.
¿O esta no?
No, o sea, de hecho, no encontré ninguna cheve en Iceland. Las cheves que miré tenían como 2.5 alcohol. Y no pregunté, that was a good question I had. But anyways, I was like, ni pedo, o sea, ya.
¿Esta madre dónde la trajiste, güey?
So, entré en el aeropuerto, güey.
Ah, neta, esta madre está en el airport.
Yeah, dude, so in the airport, I saw this shit, boom, I snatched it, me lo metí en la mochila, güey. Bueno, no me lo robé, güey.
Sí, güey.
No lo
You skipped a
robé.
step there, bro.
I'm not allowed in Iceland anymore. No. No me la robé, la compré, me la metí en la mochila y me fui. And I was thinking, pues chingue porque it's in my backpack, I'm in the airport, ya pasé security.
Ajá.
Chingue.
Sí.
No, wrong. Porque llegué a New York and for some fucking reason I had to exit the terminal to go to my other terminal. So I had to go into security again, güey. Y me la hicieron de pedo, güey. Esto, you can't cross liquids.
Sí.
Me hicieron de pedo, güey. La manager ahí, head security, shout out. Me hizo un parote, güey. Like, she was like, I got you, hon. Boom, y me llevó como the back of security. Estaba así, güey, yo. Se ve como bien intenso security, güey, pero todos en el backroom andan valiendo verga, güey. They're just all tired.
Y he
They don't like their job.
Yo he escuchado que airport security is just like a facade. Que es esa madre, I heard it from un show que tú me dijiste de hecho, güey.
Adam ruins everything.
Adam Ruins Everything, güey. He talks about fucking how airport security dramatically changed after 9/11, and a lot of what they ended up doing, I mean, probably does help prevent certain things from happening, pero most of what really prevents big things from happening, like 9/11 or anything close to that, is actual investigations that happen prior to the events even happening. Like by the time someone gets to the airport, you've already been checked, bro. So yeah, they've gone every part of you already down. So by the time you get to the airport, the little machines and checks and put your arms up here and take your fucking shoes off. Ese es puro pedo, nomás para caer palo, güey.
Pero
bueno, dicen.
Sí lo creo, güey, porque yo he ido yo he estado en un chingo de aeropuertos, güey, y el único cagante es Estados Unidos, güey. Los aeropuertos de Estados Unidos son los más culeros, güey. Bueno, tan cómodos, pero security is just so obnoxious, güey. Like, nobody really asks you to take your shoes off.
Así, güey.
Like, that's so...
No mames, ajá, güey.
Even hasta si tienes como chanclas, güey.
Sí, güey. Sí, güey, sí, güey.
Is that necessary?
Sí,
no.
Sí, I recently flew.
Aquí tengo un cohete, la verga.
Sí, güey, no mames, güey. Calibre 50 acá. No, güey, yo acabo de volar, güey, de hecho sí, güey, como when I have shoes on, yo me los empiezo a desambrar desde antes de que llegue ahí para que ya estén listos, porque I fucking hate slowing the line down for taking off my belt.
Y nunca falta ese vato que
sí,
se le olvida
sí,
güey.
Y saca como 3 laptops de 3 different bags, güey, esa madre, todo ese pedo, pero esta vez dije, fuck, I'm gonna take sandals, bro, me llevé los Birks, güey. Y también, güey, me quité todo estaba listo, güey.
Estás bichi.
Hazme cuenta, bichi, güey, tenía las manos en la bolsa nomás, güey. y el vato ya estaba a punto de subirme a esa madre, meterme el pinche human x-ray esa madre, güey. Levanté mis manos, ya me sé todo el protocolo, güey, acá.
Sí.
Y el otro, hey, can you go back out and put your fucking Birkenstocks? No dijo fucking up, pero dijo, put your Birkenstocks in there. Dije, lo miré como,
Really, bro?
Sí, güey. Pero, sí, güey. Me cacharon, güey, tenía cocaína ahí.
No mames, güey.
Sí, güey. Me cacharon, güey. No, pero todo bien, así que no pasó nada. Acá, no, bien traficante, güey. Pues entonces la morra te hizo el paro, tú le tuviste que hacer un paro, güey.
No, güey,
pues, es un safe space, güey.
Pues para empezar, güey, if you've ever been in an airport security and your flight is already there and they're already like boarding, you know the panic that is inside. You know that panic of like, y lo estoy en Nueva York, güey. No es como que es California, no es como que es Colorado. You know what I mean? Like, it's New York. Like, estoy en la otra punta del país, del país, güey. Arizona, güey. Literal, güey, frontera.
Sí.
So I'm like, no, like, if I miss my flight for a pack of beer, it's not gonna be cheap. It's not gonna be a cheap beer, you know? Sí. Pero, so a lo que voy es como, the securities, whatever, la hago así porque están en la computadora, güey. They're just seeing the scan. A ver, ¿qué fue eso? Oh, la bocina. Okay. Y pues como hace flag mi backpack, and I'm like, I knew that was gonna happen. Mi pedo. And it goes to, like, she pushes it to the side, and I'm like, I know the protocol as well. It's like, me acomodo para check my bag. Y nada. She's like, she like, lo acomoda, and she looks back at the screen, and she's continuing to like, and I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, you did not just ignore me, because I'm like staring at you.
Yeah.
She's not too far away. Y pasa como unos 3 minutos, güey. Y yo nomás estoy parado viéndola, güey, como, es neta, güey. Como no me hace decir, ahorita viene alguien, pinche customer service.
Vale, verga.
Y le dije, hey, I gotta get going. Is there any way someone can check my bag? And she's like, that's not my responsibility. ¡Hala! ¡Verga! ¿Y qué hago? ¿Chingame yo?
Sí, güey, ya puso sus 2 weeks, güey. Ella, güey, va a salir mañana, güey, es el último día, güey. Dale, verga.
Vale, duré como otros 5 minutos así, güey. En eso saca otro vato, le quitaron la mochila. He was more in a rush than I was. And he started actually, like, complaining. Sí. And I was like, be louder, bro. I'm like a conflict avoider, man. I'm not gonna stir the pot, you know?
Be louder.
Pero luego sale alguien del break room, güey. Y como con la pinche paciencia del mundo, güey. Parece que...
No es aeropuerto, güey.
Sí, parece que... Ay, no sé qué parece.
Parece algo feo.
So he's like, she opens my backpack, like, con toda la calma del mundo, güey. Sí. Y me estoy esperando, güey. I'm seeing the screen of, like, the time the flight, güey.
Boarding started.
Sí, güey. And she looks at me con cara de estás bien pendejo. Como, I know, you know that this is not allowed. Yo como, I know it's liquid, but I bought it in an airport and it's in a sealable bag. Like, it's a special bag the airport in Iceland gave me that basically means no one's tampered with whatever's inside. It's like, we have to test it. So she opens the bag and I'm like, ooh. Once you open the bag, it's tampered with. Like, now it's, ya vale verga. So I'm like, whatever. She knows that it was.
Yeah, it was her.
And she goes on to open the fucking case of beer. And I'm like, oh, you're fucking with me.
Se quiere pistear una, güey.
Y she's like throwing shit around como si fuera pinche libros, así como no importa. And I'm like, this motherfucker. She's like, me empieza a cagar palo y le empiezo a explicar otra vez. And she's like, I'm gonna have to throw this away, like, you can't. And I'm like, listen, lady, you don't know what I've been through. Is there any way? Come on, this problem solved. Help me out.
Sí, güey. Like, no es una pinche natty light, güey.
It's just, it's just a 12 pack of beer. Like, let's figure it out. Let's problem solve.
Sí, güey.
We're a team.
I'm here for you.
Yes. And she's like, if you want, you can talk to my manager. Yo, let's do it.
Yeah, send her down.
Let's go. So she sends me to this other room, and this lady, like, props to her, está para arriba abajo. Like, she's like, pum, 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 pum. She's like, ¿qué pedo? Igual me tira el mismo spiel. Y de que, I want to take the beer. Like, whatever I have to do.
Sí.
Anyways, me saca de security, me baja a la entrada del terminal donde this is check-in. And she was like, you have to check it in again. You're like, puta madre, güey. Pero déjame encontrarte una caja. Y luego desapareció como por otros 10 minutos, güey. Y mi puto avión, güey. Sí. Ya ni siquiera estoy en el gate de security, güey. So, like, I'm at the entrance of the airport, güey. Y yo, puta, ¿dónde te fuiste a la verga?
Güey, yo llego con como 2 minutes to spare to the airport, güey, siempre, güey. So this would have not, I would have already missed my flight.
Pues lo mío era un layover, no era como que tenía la decisión de
sí.
Voy a llegar 2 horas antes.
Ok. Pero ya estás con tiempo, güey, te salvo el culo esa madre.
Sí. Punto, güey, ya la estoy haciendo muy larga esta pinche historia. El vato, güey, el vato que del carrier, del airline carrier, el que hace check-in bags, he was kind of seeing the drama going on.
Sí.
Pero la lady se estaba comportando a toda madre. She got me a box and she's like, just check it in and I'm going to take you straight through security because I know you're checked. Yo como, fucking homie, dude. Like, this is what I want. Like, now we're getting somewhere. Like, just tell this to your employers. Like, be on the same page. Y el vato me dice como, todo bien, bro. Como no te voy a cobrar. I'm gonna put it in there for free.
So there's supposed to be a fee with this?
But you know how you if you check in an item, like that goes under the plane, you have to pay for that.
Like a check bag?
A check bag. It was a check bag, essentially. And I already had all my check bags and everything. So this was going to be an extra.
Ese vato pistea, güey.
Ese vato de que...
Cincho pistea en Nueva York, el vato.
Sí, ese vato de que... I got you, man.
Sí,
I'm not gonna charge you. Pero me lo dijo acá como tal. Acá yo como...
So tienes 2 compas en Nueva York.
Sí, ya cuando tú ocupes, güey, yo les llamo, güey. Me hicieron el parote, güey. I got checked in, entré pinche a security, güey. Casi entré así como me la pelan, pendejo. Sí, porque me estaba llevando a la señora, güey.
Ni te quitaste del cinto.
Nada, güey. Sí. Y ya, güey, entré a mi gate, güey. Pero ya estaba haciendo board, güey. Y ya nomás como me metí a la línea, güey. Pero... esta chave pasó por 3 aeropuertos, güey. Y creo que por eso está toda puteada, güey. Sí, güey. Como si está bien batida la pinche chave.
Pues, como sea, güey, me la pisteo con más orgullo, güey.
Sí, güey, sí, disfrútala, güey. Y está como bien, que es like a very summery beer, huh?
Sí, güey, está de toda madre, güey.
Like poolside.
Exacto.
Cuéntame de tus aventuras, güey. Tú has estado en... all over the fucking place. Recently, you were in Florida.
I was in Florida, bro, which was a little scary for COVID. There's that Delta shit going on.
You're also in Arizona, so how different was it?
It's not too different, I guess. Pero ahorita, I mean, if you look at the numbers, Florida is like up there, you know. It's number 1. If this was the Olympics, Florida would be getting the gold ahorita, güey. Pero we went y la neta no salimos mucho, güey. We were by the beach. We rented a little hotel room y so it was nice going on. We didn't risk too much, you know, besides going to Florida, which I feel like is already a risk. It felt like a risk to me. Pero no, güey, todo tranquilo, estuvo chingón, güey, la alberca. Pero hay algo que se llama red tide, like in the ocean, which is really scary and like discerning to see. I guess once a year during the summer months, there's this thing called the red tide that happens in Florida, in like the Gulf of Mexico area, which is basically like some algae.
I know what you're talking about.
Sort of goes into like expands in the ocean a little bit, and it kills fish. It just ruins like their ecosystem, exactly. But I guess this year something happened in that area, like in a reservoir, that like messed more with the ecosystem. So it was the red algae like ×3 or whatever. So estuvo un poquito más feo este año. So we got there, bro, running to the beach acá, bien vergas, bien excited, güey. Con sunscreen y la verga. Ya sabes, tu best summer shirt.
Sí.
Y fucking start looking, ajá, güey, bien vergas. Y en Baywatch, güey, en slow motion.
Sí.
Y luego de repente, pescadillos, güey. Así como en la arena, güey. Muertos, güey. Sí, güey, y como you start slowing down, güey.
Is this a lake?
No, it's a beach, bro. It's a beach. Beach, like, it's supposed to be like the best beach in the country right now. That's why we went, because it's like, what's the best beach? And we wanted like warm waters.
Yeah.
You see, güey, fucking flounder fish, güey, eels, hasta something that looked like a manta ray.
Oh shit.
It's like 3 different types of fish. Como, it's not just one fish that's getting fucked over here. There's like the sea life is as a whole. I saw one little shark, bro.
A shark?
Like a little baby shark.
Muerto?
Sí, güey, muerto. Y te quedas como, fuck, I don't know if I want to go in this water, bro. Sí, güey, sí. So it was kind of very discerning. You don't want to go in, you know? I kind
I
of
mean, now that I know there's sharks, güey, pura verga.
No, pues eran de esos como...
Ay,
They wash ashore, güey. No vienen del...
Oh, órale.
So if you die, you can't swim, bro. You know?
Te hundes, ¿no? You just sink.
No, the shore brings you in.
I guess
I mean, you
I
float.
guess
You float, yeah.
wow.
Have you ever had fish? Like, as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know when they die belly up?
Y los tiras al toilet como,
Sí,
bye-bye.
you know, we push.
Sí.
Pues sí, güey, estaban unos pescados, güey. So what they would do in these beaches,
These bitches.
these bitches that take care of the beaches, they get like a truck y lo limpian todo, güey. They go by the shore and then fucking scoop everything up. So you see, every morning you see like a new layer of sand. But they always miss a few, you know? Or like new ones come up. So it's every day we're there for like 4 days. Y sí, estaba medio culero. Red tide. I don't know much about it, but I hear it happens every year.
Creo que se llama en
Aquí,
español,
güey.
creo que se llama sargazo, güey, creo. Porque le pasa mucho también en el área de Cancún y Quintana Roo y todo eso. And it's not funny, it sucks, but
Sí, güey.
it's kind of funny sometimes because people go to Cancún for the beaches
Sí.
in the summer cuando pueden, pero es cuando pasa.
Sí.
So es cuando van como, a la verga, las pinches maros están bien vergas, pero ves nomás una pinche,
Sí.
parece lodo, güey, parece como
Sí.
todo zarra, güey.
Sí, güey, sí. Pues así me pasó a mí, güey. Estaba bien excited para la playa, güey. Fuimos porque nos podíamos meter en California, güey.
Sí.
En el verano, güey. Bueno, en San Diego a lo mejor sí, como en SoCal. Pero donde yo estaba en el Bay Area, güey. The whole year round, the water's just always too cold for me.
Yeah. You need one of those, like,
Yeah, the wetsuits.
güey.
Sí, güey, pero no mames. So we went to Florida being like, we're just gonna fucking be in the ocean all day. I did get the courage at the end to do parasailing.
Oh, shit.
That's fucking nice.
Otro
It's
pedo.
fun. Sí, está vergas, güey. Pero it's not as... Like, once you get up there, you're pretty high. So if you're afraid of heights...
I've seen videos where, like, they're having a great... It's like usually a couple up there. They're having a great ass time. Y luego algo pasa, güey. Y se empiezan a paniquear, güey. Y luego se caen, güey.
Pues yo estaba antes de subirme a esa madre, güey, yo estaba medio paniqueado porque vi un capítulo de ¿Quién mató a Sara? ¿Cómo se llama ese programa, güey?
No sé qué hablas, güey.
Es un programa en Netflix, güey, una serie, güey. ¿Quién mató a Sara, güey? Se llama que es Sara, güey. Y
¿En español?
Es en español, güey. Y la morra en el primer capítulo, I'm not doing any spoilers, güey, porque así empieza esta madre, güey. Empieza porque una morra se muere haciendo parasail.
That's so reassuring.
Sí, güey, so yo en toda mi...
Never gonna do that? Shit.
Pero se muere porque someone tampers with the rope and shit.
Oh.
So that's the whole series, is like figuring out who killed her, I guess.
Sí te mueres, ¿verdad?
Oh, so, but just see, well, you're like 200 feet in the air. I was high. I was fucking up in the air.
Porque no es como que caes... Si es que tuvieras a caer, no es como que caes gently, güey.
No.
Caes en...
Sí, güey, sí te... I mean, sí, güey, te mueres, güey.
Sí, no, sí.
There's no way around it. I was looking down, bro, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I would look at our hotel from the shore. And
Se
we were
veía
higher.
mucho
We were
que-
like, sí, güey, way higher than our hotel. We were staying on the sixth floor.
Hell
So it was easy, like 200, maybe. No, actually, it was like 500 feet up in the air, bro.
¿Y te la pasaste chido?
Tú a vergas, güey. Tú bien vergas. De hecho, tú al putazo. Ay, tú al putazo, güey. I talked so
Sí,
much
güey,
shit.
it's like, it sounds like you were having a panic attack.
Sí, güey. But see, this is why I was nervous up until this happened. So I rock climb, right? And so one of the big things that you have to trust when you rock climb, if you're not gonna want to fucking panic, is you gotta trust the rope and you gotta trust the carabiner or the sort of mechanism that you're using to climb. A big one is a carabiner. And so when we were being hooked up to the parasail, you have to put a harness on, which you also do in rock climbing when you're doing top rope. And then you have to get a carabiner to link to your harness. And that's literally the same thing in this parasail. So as soon as I was kind of nervous, I wasn't freaking out, but I was a little nervous because I was the second group that did it. So I had already seen someone do it and how high they went. So I was a little nervous. I'm not a big fan of heights, even though I do rock climb. If I can stay on the ground, I do. But I wanted to do it. But as soon as I saw him clip a carabiner to the machine, I was not nervous at all.
Pues te acostumbraste a ese sentimiento cuando haces rock climbing.
Pues
¿no?
es lo que me dije a mí mismo, como me dije a mí mismo. No
tengas miedo, mi mismo.
Sí, no tengas miedo. No, as soon as they clipped on the carabiner, I said, if you're going to be scared of this, then you are going to be scared of rock climbing. And you're not scared of rock climbing, so you can't be scared right now. So it all went away, and then and we're like, ready, te sueltan de esa madre, and you just start, el parachute ya está dando, way. The parachute's always going, you're just kind of linked here, And then basically what they do is they start extending the rope that's attached to you, and you start getting further and further from the boat. And once you're up there, dude, you're just fucking sitting, bro. I could have meditated. It was so gentle.
Shit, güey.
Like the how.
So no es como que hacen vergüenza.
Sí, güey, no andas andas moviéndote como shaking a la. Está bien a toda madre, estás a gusto. Hasta after, and I knew this was gonna happen, bro. After like 5-10 minutes, bro.
Te dormiste.
No. Las fotos, güey, salgo bien mal. No, güey, lo que pasa es como after 5-10 minutes, güey, you feel like you already did it. Como it's like a 25-minute time that you're up there, I think. And I knew this was gonna happen, like I said, but I wanted to know for sure. I was like, I'm gonna be up there, and after 5 minutes, it's the same thing. You see, güey, como after 5 minutes, I was just sitting there, como, okay, so let's do something else. So what they do close to the end of the trip is they lower you and they have you like touch the water with your feet. Y si quieres te meten, como te preguntan, at least this guy asked, he was like, do you guys want to dip your toes, dip your legs, or your whole body?
¿Quieres que te ahoguemos?
Sí, güey, acá, güey.
Porque estás atorado a esa madre, no es como que puedes, you don't decide when you go back.
Sí, güey, y van en vergüenza, pues un bote está jalando, güey, se van en vergüenza, güey.
Waterboarding.
So a huevo yo dije los toes, güey. No mames, güey. Sí, güey, el vato nos hizo los pies, güey, acá y te mojas y la verga, está chingón, pero he visto muchos videos también yo de que los vatos o la gente que se mete hasta they probably ask for the chest or whatever, y ahí se andan ahogando, así, güey, andan en vergüenza, güey. Pero all of that is to say that Florida is cool and Parasailing is cool.
Yo tengo ganas de ir a Florida, pero nomás al como, I want to be submerged in like that Cuban American
Sí.
community.
Sí.
Siento que eso sería como un tipo culture shock, pero a la misma vez it's still very familiar.
Sí.
Like I'd like to, I don't know, I feel like that's such a cool, I guess in my head it sounds like such a great, like cool little melting pot thing going on.
I agree. It's its own little culture. Florida has its own little culture, it seems like. I have this goal that I want to get to every state before I die. You know, I want to go to at least every state. Mm-hmm. So Florida, like, it's checked off, and I think it's more like I have to be at a state for at least a couple of days.
So yeah, what are your requirements to check it off?
It can't just be driving through. It has to be like I stayed at least, I want to say 2 nights. At least 2 nights.
2 nights. Okay.
At least 2 nights. Yeah. Because 1 night doesn't seem like enough. Come on, you can come in after a road trip and just sleep and then leave and you haven't really seen it. Yeah. So I think 2 nights, because that means you spent a full day there. You did a few things. So I think my requirements are 2 nights, a meal in the Florida and in the state. And I guess a full day, at least that. Mm-hmm. And I have a few states. I have obviously Arizona, California, Utah, New Mexico, Florida. Those are the things.
Didn't you go to the East Coast?
Oh yeah, Rhode Island.
Philadelphia.
Rhode Island, Philadelphia. You and I went to Philadelphia.
Yeah, New York.
New York has only been 1 night. I stayed the night it was a layover.
Comiste.
I went to Times Square, bro.
Washington?
No, Washington D.C. So I guess it's not a state.
¿La llevas, bro?
Sí, güey.
¿Llevas para los double digits?
Sí, güey. So that's the goal, because I feel like we spend a lot of time fantasizing or glorifying the trips to Europe and I love Europe. I mean,
I'm glad you're bringing that topic up.
See, I've been to Europe. I've been to Costa Rica. So I've been to a couple different countries too. But I realized that even though I mostly identify as like Mexican American, so like the Mexican part is still a big root of my identity. I do live in the States. I was, raised in Arizona and in Mexico. So I feel like those 2 countries, the States and in Mexico, I haven't fully explored. And a lot of people usually tend to venture out before they really explore what's in their fucking home base. Yeah. And I'm like a complete victim to that. Like I can't even name 10 states that I've been to. And granted, the States is one of the bigger countries in mass, in land. But still, like, I feel like I could have done a way better job in exploring my home state. And then in Mexico too, I've only been to a few states in Mexico, and I need to really start venturing out. I know you've done a pretty good job of venturing in Mexico.
Yeah, dude, Mexico, I fucking love Mexico.
I do,
lo bonito de México, güey, y pues igual Estados Unidos, pero siento que Estados Unidos y gente que está escuchando esto o que está viendo este clip, así es que se hace clip, como comenten o déjanos saber if you feel the same way. Pero México tiene algo especial que no lo tiene Estados Unidos, que cada estado tiene como su propio identidad, pero sigue siendo México, ¿me explico?
Sí.
Y en Estados Unidos, it almost feels like it's just the same thing, you're just in a different place. It almost feels, I don't know.
Sometimes.
I don't know. I didn't explain it well enough, but.
You feel like there's like a monoculture in the States wherever you go? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Kind of. Like, we're all. Yeah, if I've been. There are differences, like if you from the south to the west to the east, and like whoever the fuck decides to be in the center.
Damn.
O sea, no hay nada, güey. Está flat y hay tornadoes.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
No.
Yeah, I drove through Wyoming and that's pretty much it.
Pero no, sí tiene lo suyo, güey. Pero siento como que es lo mismo, pues. Sí. No hay diferencia, no hay mucha diferencia. Como en México, cada estado, la gastronomía cambia, güey.
Okay.
Como every state has their own, like, yes, you could find traditional Mexican food everywhere, pero tiene como sus propios little, like, we're known for carnitas, we're known for pastor, we're known for asada, we're known... Naming tacos. Yes. Pero, o sea, hay un chingo de pozole, caldos, o sea, hay de todo, ¿no? No sé, le tengo un aprecio a México bien cabrón.
I feel like I disagree. I kind of disagree because I mean I do agree that there's a lot of states in America that in the U.S. at least that have like they don't really have their own extravagant culture that stands out. So you feel like it's all the same. So there's like a few hubs like Florida. I feel like it has its own little like there's a lot of culture there. California, even Arizona, in Texas, I feel like they have very much like they stand out.
The fucking extremities.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with it as well, being the fact that it's on a border on a coast because there's a lot of immigrants coming in, right? So they influence the culture. They influence not only the societal culture but also the pop culture, which I think is huge, right? If you can influence how someone speaks or talks or listens to music, you've altered what people are saying, what people are doing, what people are hearing, which doesn't tend to happen in like the center states. You know, if you think about like, for example, you said like the middle states. I said Wyoming, which I drove through it, so I haven't been there, but I remember a lot of what I drove through, and it's a long drive to go across it. There's just a lot of flatlands. I didn't feel like I came across a city, a lot of little towns. So it's understanding to know that a lot of people aren't gonna make all their way to the center of the state. I mean, it's hard enough to get to America if you're coming from another country.
That's true.
So and then like you settle like fucking California, New York, right on the coast. Y ahí te quedas, güey, en Arizona también.
I think now that we've been talking about it for a while, I think what it is for the United States, what it is for me is, and it's beautiful. Like if you really think about it, like the United States is a melting pot. So if you go to really big cities like New York, San Francisco, LA, maybe
Chicago,
some places in Florida, you will see that melting pot, and you will see that like people from all around the world trying to like just celebrate and like share their culture, right? And it's beautiful. That is fucking awesome. If you go to New York on the subway, y vas a ver un chingo de colores, un chingo de caras, y eso está bien vergas, güey. Pero lo encuentras en los Estados Unidos. Y creo que eso es lo que hace Estados Unidos diferente al resto del mundo.
Y en México tú...
Y a lo mejor no sé si es que aquí vivo y I'm just so used to it that I the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Like Mexico looks greener because I'm not living in Mexico. Maybe that's it. Pero.
That's probably true. My brother actually sent me he tagged me on like a TikTok about un güey que se llama Víctor Mariachi, güey.
Okay.
Es un rapero, güey.
Ándale.
Y tiene una rola que se llama Going Back to Mexico. I think it's its top one. Do you know
ya te la mandé a ti, güey, en TikTok, güey. Está como en un tipo, no creo,
una fiesta, güey.
Una fiestilla, güey. Está como...
ok, ¿tú me lo mandaste?
Sí.
Ok, tú me lo mandaste, güey. Está verga.
A lo mejor tu hermano también, güey.
A lo mejor. Pero I love the first line. Like the intro of the song is like, he's like just talking. He's like, when they tell you to go back to Mexico, go back to where you came from, you know? Como, you know, there's a lot of those videos happening with like fucking white people just telling brown people to go back to where they came from or going back to Mexico. Y hasta he just raps. His first line is, I want to go back to Mexico. Take me to the festivals.
Yeah.
And he, like where everything's incredible. So he like flips it, and I think he talks about like what, like, you're talking about me going back like it's a bad thing. Like, the fucking grass is greener over there. Like, you don't know what you're, like, missing when you would, like, you should try going too. And I thought it was so clever, bro. I instantly fucking listened to all his other shit. He's
on Spotify and shit.
Sí. I hope I'm getting the name right. It's Victor Mariachi. I found him on Spotify. Sí está, güey. Su first song is, if anything, just look up Going Back to Mexico on Spotify or like any.
Going Back or Take Me Back?
Going Back to
Mexico, yeah. I remember I saw it and me quedé como, a la verga, what did I just watch? And I had to watch it like 2-3 times.
Sí, está verga, güey.
Honestly, there's a part I really liked, pero más que pues se me fue, la neta, no me acuerdo. Porque dice un puto de cosas, güey. Está rapeando, güey, so there's a lot that he says, pero.
See, that's the one thing I really appreciate about people doing, like, I don't know if you did it or my brother did it, but like sending me songs that, like, I feel like TikTok, as much as I was apprehensive to joining TikTok, I don't really post anything on there, but I'll go in. I think I check it like once a week, and then I just look at whatever people send me. I don't even go on my own like algorithm.
Yeah.
I just go on what people send me, because it's always like 10.
Qué popular eres, güey, o sea.
No, pero pues en 2 semanas, güey, o sea.
O sea, no lo haces.
No diario, güey. Diario no me llegan tantas, güey, pero me llegan que tú, que mi carnal me mandan cosas, o amigos así, y there's always like an artist that I run into in TikTok. Like, TikTok is really becoming like an avenue.
The new like place to be discovered. Feels like.
It's a nice spot. Changing the topic a little bit, I feel like, I mentioned my brother. We roasted him on the last episode a little bit. He says we roasted him. I don't think we did.
Es puro amor. Es amor. Es amor apache, güey.
Sí, pero
es amor.
Eran de sus crocs, güey. Nomás,
pobrecito. Le va a dar más vergüenza esto, güey. Que...
No, es que I feel like I left some information out. We roasted his foot game, his shoe game. Y era que agarró Crocs. I stand by what I said. I don't believe Crocs should be on anyone's feet. But unless you're trying to make a child happy. Es como cuando un niño viene, güey, y te tiene un fake phone, güey. Like those phone toys. And he says, it's for you. Eres un culero, güey. Eres un culero, güey. See, if you don't pick up that fake phone and pretend like you're on a phone
call, you have no fucking heart.
Sí, güey. Eres un pinche malagradecido, güey.
Hello?
Ajá, güey. You have to pretend.
Sí, güey.
So, mi carnal tiene su hijo, you know this, y mi nephew, shout out to Liam when you hear this. Tiene su own Spotify account, ¿no? Liam, he has his own Crocs. It's cute to match with your kid, so he did it to like match with his kid, which I think is commendable too. It's like its version of picking up the phone to a fake phone when a kid hands it to you. So it's not a roast, bro. Just
embrace it, bro. I agree, dude. I mean, if I was in the same position, I'd probably have Crocs too.
Sí, güey, sí, es como si está cute hacer match con tu hijo, güey, y it makes sense, como why not? Porque there's an age, and you know about like human development, there's an age where like boys want to relate with their father. I mean, throughout their life, but especially they're like when it starts a big time is like the 2-year-old phase, right? They want to, and girls I think do the same with their mother, right? Is that true?
Yeah. So
it's like just gender based?
Yeah. So no, I mean it's both. Think about this, dude. Like, you're a fucking little human. Sí, apenas estás empezando a entender lo que son palabras, güey. Y cuando lo curada del lenguaje es que entre más palabras sabes, más entiendes el mundo. Por eso la gente que son polyduo, like
polylinguist.
Ellos ven el mundo muy diferente al tipo de persona que nomás sabe un lenguaje, porque cada lenguaje tiene palabras que no se hacen translate, güey. Sí. So, apenas estás entendiendo a procesar el mundo, güey. Eres niño, güey, so todo está chingón, güey. Bueno, hopefully, todo está chingón. And you are constantly the people you're with is your mom and your dad, hopefully. And maybe some siblings. Clearly, it's like, that's your community, that's your society, and you're going to want to do whatever your society's doing, right?
Yeah, like your role models.
Yeah,
right?
Your role models. And then they turn into role models once you understand that, wow, you're my dad, you do this, you do that. Y quieres hacer lo que ellos... Quieres hacer como tus papás, güey. You look up to them. And it's funny. It's not funny, actually. But if you look at really shitty parents, and you study their children, like will look up to their parents. And as a society, if you look out and you look at the person as the parent, you're like, ahorita vales verga como persona, sí. Pero el hijo va a querer y va a ser como, no idolize, pero va a respetar como a sus papás, güey. Y está bien bonito eso. So, entonces, como papá, sí está chingón decir, ¿sabes qué? Tú quieres esto, or you're asking this from me, I'm going to do it for you. Te voy a acompañar.
Sí.
Y así, la verdad es que así guías a los niños, güey, como así les enseñas qué está bien, qué está mal, güey. That's why it's super important that if you have a little girl or a little boy that's like, I want to play with dolls, you're not like, no, dolls are for girls. Mm-hmm. Porque ahí ya estás como haciendo mold ese cerebro, güey, de qué está bien, qué está mal, güey.
Sí.
So it's very important that at that age she's at, well, really, like you said, all ages, pero when you're a kid, maybe 2 to 5, 2 to 6, eso lo tienes al niño y el niño va a hacer lo que tú quieras, güey, essentially. Sí. Once the kid starts like having his own opinions and like wants to be more independent, ya no puedes hacer esas cosas. Ya no puedes decir, hey, let's go matching together, porque no.
See, I've heard several times that from 0 to 4 years old is when after that the kids already have developed their core values. Mm-hmm. So like the foundational stuff is set, and you can change their lives or their perspective on things, but it's a lot harder. 0 to 4 is where you really got to make the effort to be like to instill those like core values. So you're right. That's usually the age where they'll either try to play with dolls or try to play with like trucks or whatever the fuck they want to play with, and you have to just be like, everything's like, you can play with whatever you want, or else those restrictions become like solid. And after they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, they're gonna have that shit be the core. Like, you don't do this because if you play with this, you're fucking gay, or you're straight, or you know.
Something I'm just gonna give some unsolicited advice from I would consider myself a professional.
In what?
When it comes to like childhood development. This is advice for parents or anyone or with children that age. If you want them to do something, no les di, o sea, sí diles, ¿verdad? Porque tienen que escucharlo también, pero don't waste your words repeating yourself to them lo que quieres que hagan, pero mejor hazlo tú. Mm-hmm. So, si tú quieres que tus hijos coman verduras, como muchos papás espero lo hagan, decirles a tus hijos que coman verduras no van a realmente hacer que el niño coma verduras. Ellos te tienen que ver a ti comer verduras. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely at that age, it's role model. Like, if you want the kid to clean his room, he has to see you clean the room without you even talking about cleaning the room. Mm-hmm. And I'll fucking bet you the kid will start developing those values and those habits, because that's what he's seeing.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crucial. Y conozco muchos papás, because I've worked with a lot of parents who ask their kids to eat vegetables, but they're eating a fucking Big Mac.
Sí,
es como, están tomando soda, and it's like, your kid's never gonna fucking respect you because you're not doing it as well.
Yeah.
So.
Do you find it problematic to consider yourself a professional in parenting while not being a parent?
Yeah, dude.
How do you cope with that? Like, if you work, because you work with parents, how do you work with the fact that a parent can come up to you and be like, you don't really know what it's like?
I've had that happen.
Yeah, I've had that too. So how do you deal with it?
I really don't deal with it. That's the thing. Like, I'm a professional in my job and the jobs I've done, but outside of my job, I'm not going. I guess I did boast it right now, but I'm not going around the world that I'm a professional. I don't know everything. I really don't know everything about child development. There's a lot that I don't know.
Okay.
I know a lot, though. Pero sí me han dicho, güey, como en muchos trabajos me han dicho como, do you have kids? And as soon as they ask me that, es como, ya viene una bronca, güey. Como, I need to learn. I need to fucking diffuse it. Mm-hmm. It's usually followed up by, entonces tú no me digas qué hacer, a ver. Mm-hmm.
Sí.
Okay. Se respeta también, ¿no?
Sí,
como,
sí.
No me voy a poner, o sea, la verdad es que no soy nadie para decirte qué hacer.
Sí.
Pero, chill.
So you just kind of te limpia las manos y...
Sí, ¿no?
Sí. Pues como and to a certain extent, tienen el punto. O sea, they have a point.
No.
I mean, I feel like you can know a lot about a topic, and that would make you book smart.
Yeah.
But there's you can read all about building a house, but then you gotta do it.
Built a house, right?
Exactly.
Tienes razón, y sí te sigo, pero no sé.
Es que lo digo como porque, por ejemplo, yo I play music, right? I write music and I sing and I play whatever. Pero sometimes I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, I don't like this song. I feel like this song needed this and that. And then there's another side of me that kicks in and it's like, well, you've never written a hit record. Like, you're not touring. Well, I say that, I guess, when it is about an artist that, for example, sometimes I'll listen to an artist that I followed and they're huge now. Logic, Kanye West, Paramore, all these artists that have a clear legacy, and they'll put something out. Fall Out Boy. A lot of people were like coming at Fall Out Boy when they finally came back, and they were like, no, valen verga, they changed their style. Coldplay, everybody, this is Coldplay, Manawe, todos, güey. And maybe I don't like their shit, but then at the same time, it's like, but I've also never, like, they've accomplished way more in music than I have, so who am I to be like, I don't think this is good. So same thing with like parenting, I guess. Like, I have a lot of opinions of things that I don't think I would do or would do, but then I've never actually done it. So my opinions are just theories, is the way I see it.
What was your question? Like, what am I?
Like, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you come off as like confident with those situations if you haven't built the house?
I think that's the thing. Like, I know what I know, and I can't expect anybody to. I don't have a reputation, I guess, so I can't expect anyone to really listen to me. If you do, que chingón, si te sirve mis unsolicited advice or whatever, or my advice at the time, or my coaching, chingón. If not, ni pedo, güey, o sea, no soy nadie. La neta, sí, en serio creo eso, güey. La neta, no soy nadie en todo este puto mundo, güey. Nomás en Arizona o nomás en Tucson, no soy nadie, güey. I'm just a speck, right? So if you listen to me, great. If not, I respect you too, because cada quien va por su propio camino en la vida, ¿no?
Yeah. I do believe that there's value in theory. Como we can talk about all these advice and shit. I feel like at least everything that we've talked about in this podcast, I know has come from like some research, some experience, or some sort of knowledge. There might be some things, and I feel like people do this all the time, and I feel like it's also a problem in our current state of society where a lot of people don't know how to shut the fuck up about anything, and including us, we have this platform now that we are saying our opinions and about several things, and so we're also part of it. So I see the irony, but I think it's important to be aware that sometimes you just gotta say, I don't know, or I don't have as much data on this, or I haven't done enough research to give my opinion. Because it's so easy, dude, to be in a bar or in a fucking social setting and people are just talking about a topic that's current events or something that someone is knowledgeable about, so they start talking about it, and then you're there, so you're like, I have something to say, and you say your opinion.
Yeah.
When maybe you don't have research, you don't have experience, or you don't have anything tied to the topic, but you're there, and so you feel like that is enough of an invitation to give your opinion, which I think is valid, but I think it should either come off as like, hey, I don't have enough data, I don't have experience, but this is my opinion. That's good. But I think every now and then you also have to be aware of the fact that
you can't just talk out of your ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And again, I see the irony of having a podcast that we talk about various topics about things that maybe we don't have personal experience, like parenting. But I do think there is also a lot of value in having theory and research. So you can't just, like you said, you can't just be talking out of your ass.
Yo respeto mucho la gente que dice, I don't know enough about this topic, or let me get back to you, or, because I feel like I do that. Like I said, I don't know it all. Lo poquito que sé me gusta compartirlo. I think you too. That's why we that's kind of where we enjoy this. Yeah. Pero nada, how do I deal with it? Pues respeto a la gente que no quiere, no entiende, o no, they're not ready for it. Así lo veo yo. Y capaz igual no sé nada igual.
Sí.
Pero
we won't know.
Yeah, I think whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I got on that rant solo para decirle a la raza, acuérdense que siempre hay más para aprender, ¿sabes? O sea,
sí, güey.
It's when you get stuck that vale verga.
También algo muy importante es como se vale y es exageradamente humano. No hay cosa más humana que cambiar de opinión, güey.
Sí, güey.
Es lo más normal cambiar de opinión, güey. Literal me ha pasado que digo algo y luego pasa en el mismo día, escucho como otra versión o algo y digo, ya no pienso así.
Sí, güey, es muy importante eso, güey, porque mucha raza no, güey, mis huevos, cambio de opinión, porque si cambio, estaba equivocado.
Sí,
está bien, equivócate. I feel like we need to normalize being wrong.
La neta.
Be wrong, bro. Hashtag be wrong 2021.
Like, fuck up, la neta.
Sí, güey.
Está bonito, güey, está curado. Lo culero es como cuando lo culero de ser feo o cambiar de opinión es como ese shame, ¿no? Que te das a veces a ti mismo te das ese shame. Me ha pasado que me siento culpable o porque fracasé o porque qué va a pensar la gente porque yo ya dije, they know me like this.
Equivóquense a la verga.
Sí, equivóquense. Te tengo una pregunta, güey. Y es en serio esta pregunta. Yo sé que va a ser rápido. Okay. Yo sé que this topic is very important to you, güey. Okay. I know.
Eso no va a ser cortito, güey.
No, sí, güey, va a ser rápido. Se acabó la verga. Pero esta es una pregunta. Quiero saber y quiero también saber qué la gente opina, ¿no?
Okay.
Pero la pregunta es, how much is an appropriate amount of milk in a cereal, for cereal?
Ooh.
Here, let me talk a little more. So, do you is it more cereal than milk? Do you pour until the cereal rises? I think the type of milk you use also is a factor.
It does matter.
It's a really important question, I think.
Sí, güey. Well, I just want to preface this with the fact that when I was growing up, todos los días, güey. O sea, 90% de mis días, güey, creciendo, güey, from the ages of like 6 to 18, I would have cereal for dinner.
So, entonces tú eres un connoisseur.
Soy un connoisseur.
Eres un professional.
Sí, I'm an expert here speaking on the topic. I'm glad you asked. So I have research and experience on the topic, so I can speak. I personally I grew up drinking 2% milk.
Uh-huh.
I've recently learned more about milk, like the rest of society, I think.
Yeah.
Like, dairy milk is, not the best. Just putting it out there, do your own research. Well, before we move on, how weird is it that we spend so much time in society drinking another mammal's milk?
That is fucking bizarre.
Before anybody questioned it. Also, I want to meet the person who first tried dairy milk.
Ya no existe,
Pues no, güey, pero qué raro el vato.
Pero déjame chuparle la chichi a esta vaca, güey, o a este borrego.
Sí, güey, qué loco el vato, pinche maníaco, güey.
Even worse, I'm gonna take a step further. This person collected milk, and I was like, forgot about the milk. The milk became rotten with mold. Forgot about it again. Shit turned into cheese. Ate it, and was like, this shit's fucking...
Yeah.
Vamos a hacer unas quesadillas.
Sí, güey, unas tortillitas y...
Sí, güey.
Sí, güey.
O sea, no mames.
Sí, güey. Dairy milk, or just dairy, the history of dairy, I'm very interested in. I need to do my own research about it, pero there's a lot of weird people in the history of dairy. Anyway, now I do almond milk, or soy milk. Soy and cashew. I think you put me on cashew. Thanks,
Cashew's good.
See, I personally think that milk should make... before the cereal starts to rise, is where I stop.
Pero, bueno, llevas muchos años haciendo esto, así que tú ya sabes cuándo parar, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Porque yo no sé cuándo parar. A mí me gusta... mi indicator es cuando el cereal como se levanta así. Y es como, oh, perfect.
Sí. Well, you have to, once, like you said, I've done it enough that I know where that point is before it rises. I don't know how to explain it. I just have to eyeball it. Mm-hmm. But I do know some people that le ponen como, whatever cereal amount, they put like 1/3 of the milk. Which I don't know. I feel like that doesn't really create that moisture in your cereal that you want. But then you also can't put too much because then it becomes soggy. So it's like
a balance.
It's a
beautiful dance.
See, and I think pro tip: fill your cereal up with milk up until the line before it starts to lift, or right as soon as it starts lifting, stop, and then move it around a little bit. Get all the flakes to get a little hueva porque sí.
Está medio raro la raza que se come el cereal así.
Sí, está seco la
me acuerdo cuando estaba chiquito, miré un programa, it was like, you show us your invention, and if we like it, we'll fund it and we'll invest in your invention, right? So this guy invented like the perfect cereal bowl. Okay. So it's a bowl of like milk and cereal, and you get the cereal, you dip it in the milk, and then you eat it.
Wait, so there's dry cereal, a glass of milk?
It's like a bowl of milk. You just dip it once, and then eat it. And because he was así se come el cereal. And he was like, he gave like a crate, like he was like in the meeting, and like, you know, like Shark Tank, como.
Okay.
And then he's like, just before I leave, I want you to know that over 85% of Americans eat cereal in the morning. Algo así, como un pinche percentage de mamón, güey. Y se fue, güey. Y todos los del meeting como que a la verga, like, we don't want to invest in this shit, but he's right. Sí. A la verga, güey. So, but people, what I'm going with this is like, kind of like psychopath. If like you just eat it right away and you don't like.
Sí, or también guarantee psychopath if you put the milk first.
Sí, ¿verdad? Está súper.
Está loquillo, güey. Go check.
Entonces, recomendación del pot, güey.
Sí, güey.
A la línea. O sea, antes de calcularle nomás. Y cashew.
Sí, cashew milk. Well, soy and cashew. They do like, there's I forget what the brand is, pero sale Michael Phelps in like el cartoon. I bought it today, that's why I know. I think it's soy or silk. It's called Silk.
Silk. Es una marca, pero eso es una marca.
Silk. That verga. Tienen cashew. Anyway, yeah. Fucking officially recommended from que show. Y no hasta el rim, güey, antes de que el cereal empiece a flotar, güey.
Sí, güey.
Y luego mojenlo un poquito, güey. Y cómenselo en vergüenza porque si no it gets soggy.
Yeah, there's a time. There's a time.
But I think everybody knows.
I'm sure everybody knows how to eat cereal, right? I hope.
I hope,
yeah. Okay. Wanted to get out of the way. Recommendations.
Para cerrar, güey.
¿Qué has escuchado? What have you been listening to?
I've been listening to the Backseat Lovers. Tan vergas, güey. Y te enseñé unas rolillas de ellos ahorita. Tan vergas, güey. If you're missing like punk rock from back in like a decade ago, with a little hint of like British rock, and like a modern take on it. The Backseat Lovers. Tienen buenas rolas. So that's my recommendation.
That's your recommendation. Yo voy a recomendar una rola viejita, güey.
Okay.
Pero que casi, o no sé qué tan viejita. Sí está viejita, güey.
No es nueva.
No es nueva, pero es una banda que casi garantizo que nadie sabe mucho de esta banda, güey. La banda se llama Super Gypsy.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Super Groupie, güey.
Okay.
Super Groupie, güey. Y la rola se llama Say You Want Me.
Okay.
Y empieza con una ukulele así. Y luego hay como una morrilla que hace acá como el chorus. Y luego está el ukulele y luego empieza como con un soft rap. Y está como rapped la rola, pero como está como soft. Like he's not going super hard. He's just rhyming. Like boom, 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 boom. With this like beat. Y luego entran los drums. Está curado.
Okay. Do you ever whenever you listen to music or specifically something that sounds like rap, do you ever like rap in your head? Like freestyle rap?
Too slow for that shit.
What do you mean?
Like I can't. Like
mentally?
I'm constantly like sometimes if I'm walking somewhere and I have time, I'll see like sidewalk and then street talk and then I'll try to come up with like rhymes in my head, but I'm very slow at it.
Takes a while.
So when I'm listening, I'm just listening. I'm like admiring por ejemplo, esta rola me acuerdo que la razón que la hice save de inmediato, güey, porque una empezó con ukulele y el vato empezó como a hacer rap. And I was like, okay, that's not common. So I liked that. Pero he rhymes eyes with real eyes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Y me cagó because it's like, oh my god, it's that easy. You know what I mean? Like I write music.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to, like I can't, I'm whatever, writer's block. But then I hear this shit and it's like eyes, real eyes, and it's like puta verga, it really is that easy.
Yeah, I mean.
So I liked it more and I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking.
Sometimes I'm listening to music. It happens a lot when I'm listening to rap. When maybe the song I've heard before, so I like know what it's gonna say. I'll hear like a really cool phrase, and I'll kind of go off on my own little tangent.
Oh, that's lit.
And I'll do
Mientras sigue la rola.
Sí.
Wow. O sea, no tienes como no te distrae la rola, las letras de la rola.
If I feel like what I'm doing or what I'm creating is good, like to the point where I feel like I should need to maybe take the idea and solidify it, I'll pause it and I'll like record it. Sometimes I'll pull out my phone out and voice recorder. Pero like today I was driving up here in Ilo, I was listening to Jay-Z Jay-Z, and I think he has a song with Rick Ross, and he said something about a prophet, and I thought about prophet, like, oh, I'm a prophet, right? That's I think that was the line he said, and so I was like, that sounds about like profit, like money, and so I was like, ooh, maybe like I love wordplay.
Yeah, you could definitely.
So just like,
and then, he didn't do that.
No, he didn't do that. Wow. So I just took profit, and I was like, ooh, that sounds like profit. So I think I made up a line. Like I was driving, I was like, ooh, they call me a prophet, but don't call me unless it's for profit. Like I'm not a masi way. So sometimes I do that. And I've asked two people. You're the second person I asked now And I feel like a lot. I realized that I thought that's what everybody did. I just thought people listen to music and then were eventually like in the mood to rap or freestyle, and they just kind of did their own thing. But people don't. People don't. I'm not a rapper.
Well, let us know. Let us know. Do you you listen to music and you start like venturing out and coming up with your own shit?
I do think freestyle rapping, even if it's in your head, should be an exercise that everybody tries at one point. Because it's an exercise for your brain. Like the same way we exercise our muscles in our bodies, like from our neck down, the brain is a muscle. So give it like those exercises that it could help, or that could help the brain. I feel like freestyle rapping.
Yeah, it does. It connects your like pathways.
In an artistic way.
Yeah, an artistic way. Super chingon. Well, listen to those songs. If you like them, chingon. Let us know. Y pues nos vemos. Para la próxima.
Nos vemos.
Show.